Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Raut has been sent to ED custody till the 4th of August. The former Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has backed Sanjay Raut and said that they are not afraid of anyone. Meanwhile, Raut has been arrested after being investigated by the ED in connection with a money laundering case linked to alleged irregularities involving the redevelopment of a Mumbai Chawl. Let's go across to Radhika for more on this. Radhika, take us through exactly what we can expect in coming days. Of course, we see Sanjay Raut has received political backing as far as Uddhav Thackeray is concerned. What can we expect from here on?
You know, as far as the legalities go, of course, today he was remanded to ED custody till 4th of August. Of course, Enforcement Directorate had asked for 8 days of ED custody. It was not given. The Enforcement Directorate during the argument said that he's not been cooperating with the investigations, to which, Sanjay Raut's lawyer, in fact, told the court that the timing of this is, deliberately during presidential, vice presidential elections and when parliamentary proceedings are going on, the Enforcement Directorate is giving these summons, and which was something that was taken by the court as well. The court also observed that you cannot say he's not been cooperating with the investigations. He had sent letters to this effect stating that he needs more time. In any case, the court said 3-day interrogation, 3-day custody is good enough for Enforcement Directorate to get more details. Now, in the days to come, well, of course, we'll have to wait and see how it will, pan out politically, because we know for a fact that there are different sort of protests that have been planned. It is not on large-scale protests that we are seeing. We did see some Shiv Senics who were gathered outside Raut's residence yesterday, outside Enforcement Directorate. Didn't see that many protesters here at the courts today. As far as the politics go, Raut, even today, even before the court, Raut's counsel had said that this is nothing but political vendetta, and this comes at a time when the political atmosphere in Maharashtra is changing, and that's when this ED action has come about. So that is something that was mentioned before the court as well, something that has been reiterated by, Uddhav Thackeray's clan time and again, be it Uddhav Thackeray, be it Aditya Thackeray, be it, of course, Sanjay Raut's kin, family members, and several loyalists of Uddhav Thackeray. They've been, talking about the timing of this and also saying that this is, of course, a political witch hunt and nothing else. I'd like to also point out about the arguments that happened before the court. One of the main argument that was put forward by the Enforcement Directorate is that 112 crore is how much Praveen Raut benefited,
right.
Illegal beneficiary of this particular scam. Now, of that 1.06 crore was diverted to Sanjay Raut and his family members, which were used for the purchase of all
Let's get a
these
quick
land
word from other reporters as well. Shivani also joining us on the broadcast. Shivani, very, very important, not just the war of words that's happening politically, but as far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, they've now received custody of Mr. Raut. But the question is that the Enforcement Directorate believes it has a lot of material, a lot of evidence that is very damning as far as the role of Mr. Raut is concerned. Take us through what exactly the ED is saying.
Well, definitely here, first of all, the ED has called Praveen Raut as the front man of Sanjay Raut, claiming that all of those transactions, all of those scams that has happened, Sanjay Raut was very well aware of it, and because of Sanjay Raut's power and position and his name, Praveen Raut was easily making all of those transactions and was giving unofficial, in orders to all of those Mahada officials, and in fact more than 400 tenants got affected because while the complaints have been received by Mahada. Simultaneously, what we are also given to understand that the ED has successfully put it before the court, claiming that 2 lakh rupees was received by Sanjay Raut from Praveen Raut every month between the year 2010 and 11. Simultaneously, 1.6 crore were also received in the accounts of Sanjay Raut from Praveen Raut's account. Entire trip was sponsored from Praveen Raut for the Sanjay Raut family. So all of this transaction clearly proves that Sanjay Raut has received some amount of money in crores and in lakhs in different segments of time from Mr. Praveen Raut, who is said to be the main accused in this matter. Simultaneously, one more important person in this entire picture has become Swapna Patkar, whose statement ED has already recorded, and after receiving a threat call, she had registered a complaint against Sanjay Raut in Vakola police station. Audio clips, all of those proofs, mail complaints, all of those are being shared with the ED.
Right.
That is why ED said that somewhere in Sanjay Raut has also tried to temper the evidences and the witnesses along with the
so very serious charges there that according to the agency says that this is what they believe Mr. Raut is guilty of. Will they be able to prove this in a court of law is an entirely different matter. But let me quickly get a word from Arunil, because Arunil, here is a person who is who's played a very key role in Maharashtra politics, not just in the formation of the Aghadi, even during the recent crisis, he was the go-to man for Uddhav Thackeray. So this is a very sensitive arrest in that sense, and that's why we're seeing opposition parties come out, even Uddhav Thackeray come out and back Sanjay Raut.
Well, that's what the defense lawyer was also maintaining, Madhav, inside the courtroom, basically saying that these charges that have been leveled against Sanjay Raut and the subsequent arrest that has taken place, it has a bearing with the recent political development that had taken place in the state of Maharashtra. Now, speaking about the political significance of this, Uddhav Thackeray clearly perturbed by this incident, going to the residence of Sanjay Raut, making an emotional appeal to his cadre by meeting the mother of Sanjay Raut. Now, what happens, because Sanjay Raut was somebody who used to write every day in the mouthpiece of the Shiv Sena, that is the Samna. Now, who will be taking his position? He was somebody who used to address the media every day, obviously under the command from Uddhav Thackeray. Now, who will be doing that for Uddhav Thackerays Shiv Sena? That is the main conundrum that lies for Uddhav Thackeray henceforth. Now, coming to the allegations that have been leveled against Sanjay Raut, extremely serious allegations, Madhav, if one has to look at it. Praveen Raut has been presented as the main
we'll have to leave it there for the moment. In fact, Arunil, Radhika, as well as Shivani, I'd like to thank all three of you for joining us on this very important story. Let's go across to our... all right, let's go across to Mr. Asif Bhamla, spokesperson of the BJP. Mr. Asif Bhamla, already allegations coming in. We've seen opposition parties come out. Their allegation is that this is political targeting or political witch hunting of Mr. Sanjay Raut. How do you respond to that, Mr. Bhamla?
You see, they have been targeting this, and they've been saying this today. What is new and what's so different about this? What I
think we've lost that line there with Asif Bhamla. Let me quickly take this right back to our reporters. Now, all right, I'm told now that we have Mr. Raj Punj, a leader of the Shiv Sena, joining us. Mr. Raj Punj, there are some very serious charges, sir, that are being referred to. These charges include not just the fact that Mr. Raut received money from this redevelopment project, but also the fact that not just him, his family members too have received money. Now, these are very serious charges if this is indeed true, and the ED can prove this in a court of law.
Whatever the charges, कुछ भी हो, लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जब तक वो प्रूव नहीं होते, how can you, मतलब आप किसी को कैसे उसमें ठहरा सकते हैं कि वो उसने ये काम गलत किया है या कुछ भी किया? बिकॉज जब से 2007 का ये केस है और उसके ऊपर अब जो जिस तरह से इतना ज्यादा पॉलिटिकली वेंडेटा यानी कि राजनीतिक आप देख रहे हैं, जिस तरह से प्रतिशोध की भावना कहीं ना कहीं नजर आ रही है। बिकॉज 2.5 साल से जब से सरकार बनी थी, तब से जो सत्ता में हमारी भारतीय जनता पार्टी, वो बिल्कुल इस समय कोशिश कर रही थी कि इस प्रकार से कुछ किया जाए। तो डेफिनेटली कहीं ना कहीं जाकर उनको ये लगा और महसूस हुआ कि इस प्रकार से अगर इन जो भी एक उनके अपोजिट, मतलब उनके फ्रंट पे आके उनके बारे में विरोध करता है उनका, तो ऑब्वियस है उनके साथ कुछ ना कुछ इस प्रकार से जो एक्टिविटी की जा रही है, नॉमिनेट करके की जा रही है, दिस इज रेडिकुलस। मतलब इसके बारे में मैं सीधा कहूंगा कि ये थोड़ा सा अजीब लगता है कि अगर आप देखिए, जो भी हमारी ईडी हो, सीबीआई हो या एनसीबी हो, जो भी ऐसे कार्रवाई करेगी, डेफिनेटली हमने कभी भी उसका विरोध नहीं किया। हमने हमेशा,
लेकिन सर यहाँ सीधा आरोप है कि उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स को पैसे दिए गए हैं। ये सीधा आरोप कह रहे हैं कि इनके अकाउंट में दिया गया है। ये लिंक नहीं, ये लिंक जो सामने भी आ रहा है प्रवीण राउत का, क्या आप पूरी तरह से डिनाई कर सकते हैं इसको कि प्रवीण राउत से किसी भी तरह से जुड़े नहीं है?
नहीं, मैं ये नहीं कहता था कि 55 लाख आइदर इज अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ 55 लाख आइदर इज क्योंकि कुछ ऐसा फ्लैट वगैरह के बारे में जो बात आ रही है सामने, वो भी जांच का विषय है। उसके ऊपर भी अभी जांच हो रही है। उसमें ये तो है नहीं कि उसके ऊपर भी इन्होंने सब कुछ कह दिया। ठीक है, उसमें जिस प्रकार से संजय राउत जी
Well, I think you've lost that line there with Raj. Let me take that question across to Asif Bhamla. Asif Bhamla, we can't hold him guilty till the court actually says so. Therefore, these allegations are all extremely premature. That seems to be the thrust of Mr. Raj Punj and what he's saying. Your response?
No, that's fine. That's fine. If the court declares him innocent, it's fine. You see, but you see, no one is above the law. The matter is of the investigation and the beneficiaries of Patra Chawl. You know about it. And the ED has recovered hundreds of crores, you see, from cases, and that's your money, that's my money, that's the people. So there has to be some level of accountability, and this is a different government. Let me tell you, this is not a government which will tolerate anybody, even he may be the biggest leader of any political party or the tallest person, they will have to account if there is any wrongdoing on that. Number one. This whole incident started in the regime when MVA itself was in power. When Mahavikas Aghadi was in power, it was their own nominated police commissioner who came out the 100 crore scam, and after that all of this followed. So we were not in power, the BJP was not in the power then. So are you going to blame the BJP also for that? It was your commissioner who unveiled this scam of 100 crore. After that, one after the other, the scams kept opening on. And you know the way Sanjay has been dealing with the way I handle the entire, and it's not one issue. There is, what about the issue of the Vasai Naigaon property? The Unitex builder Gotala of 2,000 crores. There's how did he buy the land of in Alibag? The transactions and companies, shell companies which he has dealt with through Dubai. So all this has to be accounted. It's not an easy way for Sanjay Raut.
Okay, a lot of answers there. Raj Punji, there are a lot of answers for you to give, says Mr. Asif Bhamla. He says that you cannot outright deny, because not one but series of scams that are being linked to the erstwhile regime there in Maharashtra. Please respond.
These are public domain, Madhav. These are all in public domain.
Sir,
you made a point, sir. Let him respond. Let him respond to you. 1 second, Asif Bhamla. 1 second. Let him respond.
Please. Just give me 2 minutes. देखिए सर, आप हमारे साथ रहे, सत्ता में रहे, ठीक है, ये 2007 की बात, ठीक है, 2019 तक आप रहे, ठीक है, कई मुद्दों के ऊपर यही संजय राउत जी थे, यही गद्दावर नेता थे जिनको आप आगे लेके चलते थे, जिन्होंने राम मंदिर के ऊपर, 370 के ऊपर और CAA के ऊपर आपके समर्थन में वो खड़े थे। और आज अगर कुछ चीज का विरोध कर रहे हैं तो इस देश में सबको आजादी है किसी का विरोध करने का। इसका विरोध
उसका करप्शन से क्या लेना देना है? आइडियोलॉजी जो भी हो, अगर करप्शन के एलिगेशंस हैं, क्या उसको इसके साथ देख के जोड़ा जा सकता है?
हम उसको कह ही नहीं रहे। देखिए, जो ईडी अपनी कार्रवाई डेफिनेटली करेगी। मैं सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूँ, ईडी अपनी कार्रवाई करे, निष्पक्ष होकर करे, किसी को नॉमिनेट ना करे, किसी को नॉमिनेट ना करे। देखिए सर, आसिफ जी, किसी को नॉमिनेट ना करे, अपनी निष्पक्ष होकर कार्रवाई करे। हमने तो कभी कहा ही नहीं कि ईडी गलत क्यों कर रही है।
ED needs to be impartial. ED needs to be impartial. Why is it targeting only opposition leaders? That's a question coming in from Congress also. Quick response, Asif Bhamla. 30 seconds. Quick response.
No. Now my friend is saying that we were together in the government. So who betrayed us? You fought the election with us. We had a joint mandate given by the people of the state. It was you who betrayed the views and Balasaheb Thackeray's ideology. And today they are swearing on the name of Balasaheb Thackeray for every wrong thing that they are doing. Why? I don't understand.
Asif Bhamla, you not answered my question. Why is ED only targeting opposition leaders? Is the question.
भाई देखिए, जो पुरावे आएंगे, whatever happened, whatever issues have come, there has to be legitimate investigation, and that it is the people's
all
money.
right, we're completely out of time. Completely out of time. Asif Bhamla, Raj Punj, we have to slip into a very quick break. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening.